we all agree to be opposing views. We do this. We can listen to a... Come on, Colin, and talk to your uncle. And talk civilly. Are you really... Here was the basic thing we were trying to get across with that before the audio went all jumbly. If those two guys can sit down and have a civil conversation, why exactly can't you call your uncle and talk about the election? Here's the deal. You're going to hear things on this program you disagree with. I absolutely guarantee it. You are welcome to change the channel to watch something that reflects your view and only your view. But that doesn't seem very useful now. So let's first get to know the people who are protesting and celebrating Donald Trump's victory. Last night we began with those who are celebrating, and tonight we begin with the people who are in the streets. This is a live picture from Sky 9 as folks walk through downtown Denver in a peaceful protest in opposition to Donald Trump. There's another event scheduled for Boulder tonight. Steve Steger reached out for a conversation that goes beyond the slogans and the chants.
Adriana Aguilar will be at a protest in Boulder tonight called Colorado United Against Trump, which will make this next statement a tad confusing.
I feel like Donald Trump is the president of the United States, and we are not contesting that in any way.
What are you doing?
We are fighting for our rights, for our beliefs. We are fighting for future policies.
If she's not here to protest Trump's presidency, what is she here for?
We are here for policies that are head to come. We're here to give our voice. We're here to have this stand and this ground right now.
She is not a Trump supporter.
What really scares me is the image that Trump stands for. I am a child of immigrants. You know, I'm a Hispanic woman in a middle-class America. You know, for me to stand up, it was taboo, and that's what we're trying to break.
But still, Trump won the election Tuesday night. We asked Aguilar, why protest now? Why not give the guy a chance to govern? See how that turns out. After all, the country elected him.
If you don't start somewhere and don't start now, then it's never gonna happen. It's like, do you leave your dirty dishes in the sink all week or do you clean them now? We're gonna clean our dishes.
And Aguilar says that everyone is welcome at tonight's event, even Trump supporters. She hopes that everyone's voice can be heard. On election night, I encourage all the people who said that they could not imagine why anyone would vote for Donald Trump to have a conversation with a Trump supporter. Listen to their hopes and fears. Have a conversation. A good number of people responded on social media with the F word. But as for not knowing anyone who disagreed with your voting choice, even Trump's Colorado campaign director acknowledges they did have silent supporters.
The people who supported Donald Trump in Colorado are your neighbors. They're people who probably when you put your Trump yard sign in your yard, came over to your house and knocked on your door and said, I thought I was the only one. They're not out there and publicly supporting Donald Trump, but they go to work every day just like you do. They have kids that go to school. They are everyday working people.
So here's an idea. Let's turn next into a place where these tough conversations can actually happen. Trump supporters, Clinton supporters, third-party people, folks who didn't vote, talking for real over coffee or a beer or whatever. I'll come along. I'll keep the conversation moving along. We're calling our new segment, Let's Just Talk with Kyle Clark. If you're interested in having an honest, respectful conversation with someone with whom you disagree, just let us know. I'll go along to introduce you, keep the conversation going. I'm dead serious about this. Let's get coffee or a beer or something and talk. If you're interested, email next@9news.com or get our attention with the hashtag HeyNext. This next story is not about a police officer who's in trouble, teacher caught stealing, a nurse hurting someone. This next story is about a public servant doing his job. The RTD transit officer who pulled a girl to safety as police caught a murder suspect downtown yesterday. That officer is one of the good ones, and they're almost all good ones.
Clear for traffic at 17th and Champa eastbound on foot.
The video gives me goosebumps. Yes, some on social media said it's the officer's job. RTD Transit Police Officer Jerry Torres would tell you the same thing. It is.
Any officer at that scene would have done the same thing. You know, it's just, like I said, it's part of our training. You don't think about it. You know, it's protect and serve. So, I'm not a hero.
Yesterday, Torres was near 17th and Champa when Denver police were looking for a man who had just killed someone and shot someone else. He was trying to get away on an RTD bus.
As I was focusing on the bus, I looked and I went, oh my God, there's a lady sitting in the car and she's looking terrified, you know, and because we're all pointing guns at the bus. And so I thought, oh my gosh, we need to get her out of there. So I motioned her to get out of the car and come this way. And she opened the door and pulled her back seat open. I'm like, no, this way. She's like, there's a child back here. I was like, oh my gosh.
I have 17th and Curtis.
Officer Torres said he had cover from a Department of Homeland Security officer, the man you see to his left with a long gun. They didn't talk, they just knew what to do. They train on what to do.
As soon as she pulled the girl out, the child, I instinctively just grabbed her and ran with her, shielding her, trying to get her back to a safe area in the parking lot.
Like most in his profession, Officer Torres would rather do this any day than talk to me, because media.
That was way easier than the interview.
He says he loves his job, even after 33 years of working in different parts of the country.
I love protecting and serving.
To him, it's not just a slogan, it means something. He was caught on camera living it.
I couldn't think of doing anything else.
For Next, I'm Anastasia Bolton.
Approach from basically
The murder suspect's a 20-year-old named Stephen Wiley. Investigators say he was selling marijuana to two people when they got into a fight. Wiley admitted taking a gun and shooting both men. Denver is now on the verge of allowing marijuana use in some bars and coffee shops. Voters were almost evenly split on this, and right now Initiative 30 is up by 6,000 votes. There's still enough ballots left uncounted that the result could change, but it's leaning yes on this. The initiative would create a pilot program where businesses could apply for permits with neighborhood approval, then people could bring in and enjoy their own marijuana on site. Best part of the day. Is the A-line working? Train to the plane. Sort of. There's some crossing issues again today, resulted in 20 to 30 minute delays. RTD says today's issues and yesterday's are unrelated to the overnight work that's happening between November and January on the A-line. Yesterday, there was a bad circuit board that had to be replaced. Today, a component failed in the track circuit. I don't know what that means, but it also had to be replaced. Next time you pass an alley in Denver, check out the new trash cans. Spiffy. Denver's rolled out new cans it wants everybody to use to consolidate the trash runs and also to limit how much people are throwing away. 120,000 homes will have them by the end of the year. City is paying $6.5 million for the new cans. They're being rolled out neighborhood by neighborhood. We've heard of a few mishaps where the trash truck arm that picks up the can just chucks the whole thing into the trash, but the issues don't seem to have reached A-line proportions yet. But if they do, we'll come up with a new segment, won't we, Cody? Did your cans get trashed today? The city of Denver is dealing with a squatter who is laying claim to the entire city. Our continuing search for signs of unity brings us to 132 Colorado families that are growing today. And on Throwback Thursday, oh yeah,
here they are.
Red, white, and cool. The City of Denver Instagram account is just pure eye candy. All these gorgeous views from around the city. And a lot of people are confused. That account is actually not run by the City of Denver. And we have no idea who is running it. Neither does the city, or so they say. Someone has been squatting on the City of Denver Instagram name for years. City workers have been trying to figure out who it is, mainly because of the confusion it's causing. This mystery person calls himself or herself the official Mile High City account, even using the Denver logo on the website. Uh-oh. The city's pretty cool about it, said, it's like kind of being a celebrity with a fan page. They accept that that person claimed the name first, so they haven't filed an official Instagram complaint. For now, they just want the city's official logo to come down. They're also trying to figure out what to call a legit Instagram account of the city's own. They told us the real City of Denver is one idea they're kicking around. 132 kids in Colorado are in for a life-changing moment this month. Their adoptions will be finalized. Today, 31 of those families grew in number and in love. And photojournalist Chris Hansen was in the crowd.
It's not just another day. It's not just sign on the dotted line. It's an event. It's an interesting story.
Looking in the camera, it's all blue.
I actually grew up, my babysitter had 6 kids, so I made 7. Otherwise, I was an only child at my house.
We wanted to have a larger family, and we tried for many years having a child, and we were unsuccessful for many years. To try and have a child it's hard. I mean, it created a lot of stress on us.
When I met John, my dream was always to adopt.
Going up, going up, going up, going up.
To give to somebody else that needed a family.
No! Food!
Today we are here adopting a little brother and sister, and they're going to be a permanent part of our family. They came to our house almost a year ago, and immediately just part of the family.
So they're not allowed to jump on the trampoline. It's one of DHS's rules. So nobody has been able to jump on the trampoline for over a year. If you ask them, their favorite thing about today is the trampoline.
I never in my entire life have ever experienced something like the gift of giving to somebody. You want to go in? It's a family atmosphere. We do everything as a family. We celebrate as a family. You know, we celebrate family every day.
Congratulations. Thank you. Yay, you're a Webb.
No more court. No more state.
My heart's complete now.
Good, it's done. It's family now.
Don's family. Congratulations to all the growing families around the state. Ceremonies, Jefferson County, Pueblo, Trinidad, list goes on. A local face joins a national brand and starts a conversation worth having. Oh, the weather outside is boring, but there's something we're ignoring. Next viewers' inquiries about our trees, what to do about our trees. Our next question comes from a viewer named Joyce. She emailed and asked, should I still water my small trees in this drought, or is it too late in the season? Are they already in hibernation even though we haven't had a deep freeze or a cold snap? Well, Joyce, despite what the jacket might suggest, I'm not a professional arborist. So we reached out to our friends at the Denver Botanic Gardens and got the director of horticulture on the phone for you.
Anytime when we have a dry winter, it's good to water your trees and shrubs. So even now, if you have your irrigation, if you haven't turned off your irrigation system, I think you can go for another week the way the weather looks. The temperature plunges, we cannot do anything about it. Like we had in 2014, where from daytime temperatures to nighttime, there was a 70-degree differential. Something like that, that's an act of nature we just can't control. Trees are going to suffer.
So water those trees now, Joyce. You signed your email, hashtag Save the Trees. Hopefully that info helps you do just that.
It's so weird we're talking about watering trees in November. This is one of our snowier months typically, and well, it feels like springtime out there. Even with that weak dry front that came through today, temperatures were still above average. I'm meteorologist Kathy Sabin, and I am tracking a storm that may bring a few flurries late. Well, the second half of next week, not overly optimistic, but we will see temperatures trend downward. And for those holiday skiers that are starting to panic because there's no snow in the high country to ski other than what they're making at the resorts, I've got some good news for you. The latest date for the first snowfall is November 21st, and we may actually break that record. They're making snow fast and furious in the high country. And as you can see from our forecast map, high pressure is still in place. Storm track to the north, other than a 10-degree drop in temperature tomorrow. Pretty quiet weather pattern will continue. 35 in the city tonight. There'll be some areas of fog off to the east of us. Second dry front comes through tomorrow, so instead of 60s, we'll be in the 50s, and then we warm up again heading into the upcoming weekend. Sunshine, 70s in the forecast for the second half of the weekend into the first part of next week. High and mid-level clouds around the area, and it should be a beautiful day for 9Care's Colorado Shares on Saturday. We hope you come out and join us.
A Coloradan is breaking barriers in the world of how we look at ourselves and how we look at each other. She is the first Muslim beauty ambassador for CoverGirl, the first woman to wear a hijab on the brand's advertising. Nura Afia is 24, graduated from Smoky Hill High School in Aurora, and her face is now featured on billboards in Times Square next to stars like Katy Perry and Sofia Vergara. Afia has already got a huge social media following and has been doing makeup tutorials on her YouTube page for years.
There were some Muslim fashion bloggers that I would watch, and they were more focusing on fashion, but I was really intrigued by makeup because I've always kind of loved makeup. I wasn't really allowed to wear it growing up, so I don't know if it's the rebellious side of, you know, playing with it, and I realized there was a need for Muslim hijabi bloggers, and so I just started one day, and I used my father-in-law's really big old camera that still had like cassette tapes.
She has like 316,000 Instagram followers. Take that, official city of Denver. Afia says it wasn't always easy dressing differently from her peers growing up, but she told us that she hopes now to be a role model for young women, to let them know they're beautiful no matter what they believe. We are back with some old school cool and my offer to help you clean out your kitchen pantry next.
Here they are. The friends you came to love and trust. The friends that never let you down. This year and every year, for you and me, the best friends you'll ever see on KBTV.
Gary Cruz, Carl Akers, Ed Sardell, a lot of legends there. Hey, we're still looking for ways that people can put politics aside, come together in meaningful ways. I will be out at 9 Cares Colorado Shares this coming Saturday. Everyone who comes through, everyone there volunteering, always guaranteed a smile. You know, kind of smile that can only come from knowing that you did something good for someone else. We would love to see you at any of the 5 main drop-off spots around the metro area. We'll be out there 7 in the morning to 4 p.m. Hope to see you there. And speaking of, well, chances to meet up, let's just talk. We're encouraged by the number of people who have already volunteered for our new segment. In the spirit of unity, we are setting up honest, respectful conversations between people who disagree on the election. I'll go along, you know, just to introduce you, keep the conversation moving. We can gather over coffee or a beer, whatever. I'm dead serious about this. Let's do this. Email next@9news.com or get our attention with the hashtag HeyNext if you are interested. Mike Fuller writes tonight, really enjoy Next. We give a big shout out to the United States Marine Corps. Today's the Corps' 241st birthday. Happy birthday, U.S. Marine Corps. Thank you to all the Marines and all who have served. Liz Milan is a government teacher who writes, thank you for encouraging people to have quality discussions, even when they disagree politically. That will be the key. You don't have to agree with the result. But are we really not going to talk to people for the next 4 or 8 years? Did we see how that worked out for the last 8? Not so well, people. Let's try again, shall we? Here's a note from Nancy Hirschfield who writes, please push the chance that Hillary Clinton still has a chance to win if the Electoral College just votes its conscience. Nancy, what does the song say? Let it go. And then finally tonight, Kathy and Paul write, we love your next show. We think your use of a Marriott branded item, specifically your pen, should be changed unless you're being paid to promote Marriott. Maybe get 9 News to splurge for a new pen for you. We think you deserve this perk. I had never realized. I think I just grabbed it out of a hotel at one point. It was sitting on my desk, and I've been using it for the last week. How could you tell that this was from a Marriott hotel? It's kind of disturbing, Kathy and Paul, but I promise you, last night that I used this pen. You'll see me again later without the pen. Hope to see you next time.